What's going on, everybody? Phoenix Gaming here. Thank you for stopping by, and today we are going to go over the Kestrel League that was released in the Division 2 during the reset. We're going to go over the builds I've used in order to complete it in an efficient manner. We'll go over the missions that are within the league this time, and then go over the challenges as well. We'll also go over the rewards used, and then just a few tips and tricks here and there just to make sure that you have a very easy and efficient league completion. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. But before we actually begin, go ahead and hit that like button, turn on notifications so you don't miss any Division 2 or Cyberpunk 2077 content. I know I've been lacking on the 2077 content portion of it, but hopefully we'll be able to pick stuff up and kind of find new ways to bring that content to the channel here. But also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you never miss a video that is released on this channel. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So with the Kestrel League, we have Grand Washington Hotel on hard, Viewpoint Museum on hard, Jefferson Trade Center on hard, and then the District Union Arena is going to be your challenging mission. For the last two challenges, we have enemies confused and then the Black Tusk disrupted. So for these two, we'll go more into detail with them here in just a moment, but they are the challenges that you cannot just constantly redo over on an NPC. So you actually have to find 250 people to confuse. You have to find 500 Black Tusk to disrupt, or I think it's vice versa, or something like that. But other than that, I mean, so you will have to actually find numerous enemies in order to do the disrupt. The Black Tusk disrupted is actually probably the easiest one. It's the enemies confused that is actually going to be quite tiresome. So we'll get to that in just a moment, but right now let's go ahead and get into the rewards. So to start off with the rewards, as soon as you get into the Kestrel League milestone rewards area, you'll be able to get to the Kestrel patch, which is like a hawk, and then we'll get the gear crafting cache. Tier 2, tier 3 is your weapon crafting cache, tier 4 is your season cache, tier 5 is your optimization cache. Tier 6 is your named item cache, tier 7 is another season cache, tier 8 is optimization cache, tier 9 is your exotic cache, and then tier 10 will be the Hydra of Lerna backpack trophy. Alright, so now that we have an understanding of what the league rewards and what the league challenges are, let's just go ahead and get right into the league challenges of disrupting Black Tusk and then confusing your enemies. Alright, so as you can see from the gameplay above, I am doing one of the challenges already, using the invaded missions to my ability. I have it set on normal, and then I'm using a high-powered skill tier 6 build in order to do the disruption of the Black Tusk. So now with the build that is being used, I'm currently running the capacitor AR that you get from the summit on Challenge 5. I'm also running the Mark Resolute rifle in case I run out of ammo for the AR. And then I have a skill tier 6 skill damage and skill haste hybrid build. That way I can get back my jammer pulse, which is one of the skills that you're going to want to be using to get it back quickly and efficiently. I'm also running calculated on the Wyvern backpack. That way, while you're in cover, you are getting your skills back in a very consistent manner. This is a build that I've been working on for the past time. If you want me to make another video on this build specifically, by all means, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll go ahead and do a deep dive into the actual build itself. But for now, this is really all you need in order to do the disrupt Black Tusk. So with that being said, let's go into exactly what type of areas you could take on the Black Tusk, and I'll give you some pointers and tips and tricks here and there in order to make this efficient as possible. So as you can see, I loaded into the Dark Hours raid. I really do not recommend that you do the Dark Hours raid in order to do the Black Tusk portion of the challenges. Now the reason being is because all the Black Tusk here, one, even on Discovery, can be quite challenging to eliminate, but it also becomes very tiresome because you're just constantly dying, then reviving yourself, and then having to do the disrupt technique. So I don't recommend doing this. If you want to do this, you can. There are enough Black Tusk to actually get enough of a dent into the challenges itself, but I really don't recommend that you do this. So if you don't want to do the Dark Hours raid and constantly die and repeat yourself over in that area, then I do recommend that you do the Jefferson Trade Center. Now with the Jefferson Trade Center, you're going to have, it's been invaded right now, and that's actually one of the actual challenges that you need to do is run the Jefferson Trade Center on hard. But with this, when you're running through the invasion mission, you're going to want to get through the invasion mission, use the disrupt as much as you can throughout the whole mission, and then when you get down to this final part where the boss comes in and the helos come in, you'll get about 36 Black Tusk, including the boss himself, and you'll be able to knock this challenge straight out of the park. It's very simple to do. As soon as they start popping out of the helos, use the disrupt jammer, and then disrupt the final guys, but get killed by them as well. That way you can reset the last places. This is your checkpoint of the mission. So just do that, reset it, and then you'll hit that 250 in no time for the challenge itself. So now that you have an understanding of what to do for the disrupt jammer, the Black Tusk disrupt challenge, then let's go ahead and go right into what the confused enemies challenge will entail. Alright, so enough with the Black Tusk jamming. Now it's time to get through the enemies confused. Now this one took me a little bit of time to actually try and figure out how to go about doing this in the best way possible. I tried doing control points, doing the hyena control point in East Downtown with no luck because there just wasn't enough of them to actually make a dent. So I went ahead and went to the summit, and I found that using the Scorpio and a build I'm about to show you here on screen was really beneficial. Actually, usually I don't use the summit to take on my challenges because I could do it enough in the open world, whether it be in New York or whether it be in DC, and just using like control points and using the cheese of eliminating the boss, the second boss of the control point, going back to the safe house and then resetting it essentially. But with this, because it was having to confuse the enemies, I found that using the Scorpio shotgun that you get from the season, and then using this build that I've got going on, which is the Vile Mask, 2-piece Empress International, 1-piece Grupo Sombra, and then 2-piece Wyvern Wear with status effects, allowed me to quickly get through the 500 confused enemies. Now, I tried using Creeping Death with this build, but because of the Scorpio and because that you're probably doing more damage than intended with the shotgun itself, you're not going to be able to actually use the advantage of the Scorpio Disorient to spread that amongst everyone else. Instead, you're going to be ticking them off one by one. But in place of one of your skills, you're going to want to use the Gunner Specialization. You're going to want to use the Gunner Pulse as well. That way, if you have your skill tier variant, you'll have enough of a cone to actually surround the whole room to get them disoriented. So if you could, take off the this disorient jammer, the disorient pulse, then you'll be able to use your shotgun to clear out any of the remaining enemies that did get affected by that pulse as well. And with this proved to be more beneficial and viable in the way of completing this stage. This is 500 enemies that need to be confused. That's 500 individual enemies. And because the summit actually keeps them in a contained space and contained area, you're going to find out that using this to your advantage is going to be very beneficial. Just a few side notes here. The confusion does not work on or does not prog on rogue agents. So if you're in the summit and you get 2 rogue agents or however many are in your group, for some reason the confusion is just, it's not going to proc, it's not going to count against the actual challenge itself. The rogue agents will still get confused, but it's not going to proc as like two enemies have been confused, if that makes any sense. Again, this also does not work on any electronics. So this won't work on the drones, this won't work on the dogs, this won't work on the mini tanks. Anything electrical confusion will not work on it. But other than that, guys, that is the Kestrel League. I really hope that it came across as efficient. It definitely worked for me, and I really hope that it works for you. It does take a little bit amount of time. Remember, the Kestrel League is open for 2 weeks, so you'll have 2 weeks to complete the challenges and get all of your caches and the backpack trophy as well within that remaining time. You can complete this definitely within a couple hours on a one day if you have to. That way you just knock it out, get it out of the way. But other than that, I mean, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, if you found it informative, please go ahead and share this video with anyone who you might think needs help with completing the league itself. If you go ahead, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and then at the same time, you can go ahead and follow me on my Twitter handle. I'm always on there, always tweeting, and that is the best place to connect with me if you have any other types of questions regarding the Division 2. I really hope you guys have a safe and happy new year. It's good to be back making content again, and I will catch you guys around in the next video. Take care.